Hi everyone, hope you're really well. Welcome to today's Monday market update. Monday close, 6 days to the monthly close. I wanted to start on the monthly chart and then I'm going to go down to the weekly, look at the daily, and I want to look at some options for you as well. Also, I want to share something I'm slightly concerned about at the current moment. Now, I'm not saying we're going lower, because you know me, I'm very bullish right now for the longer term picture. Just want to make sure I'm looking at all the data and not getting too blinded, at least in the short to medium term. So let's start on the monthly. Now, I'm just a big believer as long as Bitcoin can hold through this box here. You can see from the 2021 all-time high, those two peaks through there, the Trump high through there, and then where we are right now. We've found really great support through this area, and now we're trying to rally. Now, as long as Bitcoin stays above this sort of setup peak, and also I think 74,000. So 74,000 on monthly. If it closes back down here, then we're really chopping through this stuff again. And then there's the possibility of going down to the 50,000. Sure, maybe even the splashdown level. But just to my eye, as long as we're above these peaks, as long as we're chopping within this cluster here, but also as long as we're above that 74 level, we're peaches, we're gander. So if it does drop beneath that 74, then I think we're going to explore those mid to low 60s. Doesn't mean we're going down to these ridiculous levels. I just think we're chopping and above here, fine. We had a fantastic weekly close, which I'll get to right now. Now, just on the monthly, finally, every time the Bitcoin has dropped well beneath the amount of Bitcoin buying per month. It's not really where you want it to be. There's been a lot of outflows recently. To be honest, Bitcoin's holding up like a champ. Yes, we had that drop down. I know Trump's selling a lot of his Bitcoin from some of his personal companies and holdings. There's a lot of sell pressure just out there. And you know what? Bulls are doing an incredible job. We have to remember that for every seller, there is a buyer. For every buyer, there is a seller. It's just the way it is. So when you see massive outflows, which I think we kind of have been seeing over the last week, have to remember if we're holding a core level and we're seeing those massive outflows, that's absorption. That's a really good sign. There are buyers coming in, willing buyers just going, feed me. Just, I'm here to buy Bitcoin at this level. You guys are selling. What the hell are you doing? We're going to acquire it here. Fantastic. But I am just cognizant of it. I'm watching the ratio just tick slightly red as the ETFs drop lower and also the total Bitcoin buying drops lower. Institutional buying on Coinbase, which I was touting 2 weeks ago because we're above 30%. So the total volume on Coinbase, 30% plus above, was institutional. Now we've dropped well beneath the 20% that Capriol says is quite large. So we can see here totals are actually -2%. So it's really dropped massively. So retail is doing all the buying here essentially. Institutions have just stopped on Coinbase. Won't stay that way, but again, it's just something we need to monitor because this can drive us back to the 70s, maybe high 60s if demand doesn't come back. And of course, if retail doesn't plug the gap or other investors don't plug the gap over there. Now, staying on the weekly time frame, Dash, look, it's probably not the best close, as in you'd love it a little bit higher, but if I've just looked down, so this is Bitcoin Dash. I'll start here first. Go across those peaks through there, and then it did have a little breakout. It probably comes back down here a little bit today. This is sorry, it's not against Bitcoin. This is against dollars. Ultimately, we want Dash somewhere up here, but the setup here is pretty good. I don't mind this setup. However, you are taking a little bit of a risk that's going to come back to 41, 42. Although if I go over to the Bitcoin chart, the Dash Bitcoin chart, it just looks a lot better. We had a bullish engulfing over here, sold on into it. But this one here, I think it can actually reach out to these kind of levels, which that's why I'm still in the trade, which would be a 50% move. Don't mind that at all. The 20 and the 10, nicely coming underneath it like that, giving us this nice platform for a bit of a surge. Where I just wouldn't be holding it, I think, above that. I think I'm going to sell everything into these types of areas. So that's okay. That's what I'm looking for. A 50% return on my trade, which would be phenomenal. XMR is another one Joe and I are looking at quite specifically. This nice shoulder here, multi-decade. Is it multi-decade? I think it goes back over a decade rather. All-time high level, which hasn't been out of breach, did over here, but completely sold into, so deviation. Now we're back. If we can get above that 506 level, oh my goodness, XMR should fly. Here you could take a bit of risk, but I'm just looking at this setup. It looks like a head and shoulders, so left shoulder, head, Hi guys, thanks for watching this short clip of my Monday market update. The full version covers 20, 30 minutes, however long it goes. I look at the entire market, what I'm seeing, opportunities for investors, and that drops every single Monday to your email and also into the Discord. If that is something you want, as well as Altcoin Bible, Talking Crypto, Thinking Rich, bi-weeklies, workshops which we run every single month for all our mastermind investors, make sure to click the link below and have a quick chat with Elliot to see if you're right for the mastermind level, and then we can level up and you can have Joe and I on the call with you every week.